Question 24 asks students to distinguish between objective and subjective performance measures when appraising skill and performance. Some things here to be aware of is the question's worth 4 marks. There is a series of lines that students need to complete to show their level of knowledge. Things to look at in the question, first of all, for starters, we're looking at the key term being distinguish. Students must explain the differences or show the differences between objective and subjective performance measures when appraising skill and performance. So in your answer, students must talk about objective and subjective performance measures, the difference between the two. If we just go to the syllabus, first of all, we'll have a look and see where it relates to the syllabus content. We'll notice that it comes in our last dot point, the assessment and of skill and performance, objective and subjective performance measures. So there's the part there that relates to our syllabus. If we have a look at a poor response, first of all, this one here, just again, it just lacks content. Okay, we've got objective measures. I like the way, and subjective. I like the way, again, that the student's been able to use the highlight to make the two aspects of the question. Again, we're looking at objective and subjective, make both of them stand out. I know there's objective and I know there's subjective. If I forget the content for a minute, at least I'm thinking it's a good answer because the two parts of the question are there. Has the student been able to apply the key term? I don't know. I don't think so in this case. There's an example there, but for me the main concern is there's a lack of content, number of lines that are missing. 1.5 lines for subjective measurements is nowhere near good enough to explain or to show the differences or distinguish between the two of them as it's asking you to do. So just not enough content, no specific information really given to distinguish between objective and subjective performance measures. If we have a look at a better response, straight away we'll start to see the difference. Okay, that all marks have been able to be completed here. We know we're going to be talking about objective performance measures, and we know we're also going to be looking at subjective performance measures. The students will be able to go through and demonstrate or distinguish between the two, right, as it's been done here, and also to give some examples to show objective measurements, what they consist of, and also for subjective measurements, another number of examples to show the differences between the two of how they relate. So a very, very good answer, some good content, well structured, well set out, an easy 4 marks if completed correctly, which it was in this case. Just some of the general feedback from this question was that overall, I thought that all students did a very, very good job with this question. Students were able to clearly define objective and subjective methods and provide an example, which is what we need to be doing for every answer we give. The better responses were able to place these definitions into the context of the skill and performance environment. Example, selection criteria for teams, elite judging procedures in diving, and clearly illustrate the difference between the two methods in these contexts.